21 days. That's how long the silence lasted. No calls, no texts, no accidental check-ins pretending to care. Just quiet, clean, uninterrupted quiet. At first, the silence felt heavy, like grief without a name. I caught myself reaching for my phone, then stopping, reminding myself why I chose not to speak. Silence wasn't a game, it was a boundary. I wasn't punishing her. I was listening to what life sounded like without excuses filling the space. On the 21st night, her message finally came. Can we talk? Three simple words, carefully chosen. No apology, no accountability, just an opening, hoping I'd rush to fill it. I stared at the screen longer than I expected. I didn't feel anger. I didn't feel relief. I felt clarity. Those words weren't about fixing anything. They were about easing her discomfort, about regaining access, about returning to familiar ground where explanations could soften consequences. In that moment, I understood something important. Talking too soon would undo what silence had given me. Words invite negotiation. I wasn't interested in negotiating reality. I didn't reply. Not with reassurance, not with rejection. I opened my gallery instead, scrolled once, and chose a single screenshot. One image, one truth, and sent it without adding a word. The screenshot wasn't dramatic. It didn't need to be. It was simple, time-stamped, unedited, undeniable. A conversation she believed I'd never see. A plan she thought was safely hidden behind deleted messages and misplaced trust. I watched the delivered status appear, disappear, then reappear. Seconds stretched. Minutes passed. Then my phone began vibrating nonstop. Calls, messages, missed calls stacking like panic. I didn't answer. I didn't read everything. I already knew what she was feeling. Fear, shock, exposure. Silence had protected me for 21 days. I wasn't about to abandon it now. That screenshot didn't accuse her. It didn't insult her. It didn't explain anything. It simply replaced the story she'd been telling herself with the truth she couldn't escape. Screenshots don't argue. They don't misunderstand. They don't forget details. They end denial quietly and permanently. Somewhere on the other end, I knew she was replaying every choice, every lie, every moment she assumed I'd never notice. That image collapsed all of it in seconds. I didn't feel satisfaction. I felt alignment. What I felt inside finally matched the reality outside. And that's when everything truly changed. Not between us, but within me. When I finally answered a call hours later, her voice was unrecognizable, thin, rushed, fragile. She asked how I got it. I told her it didn't matter. She asked when I knew. I said it wasn't relevant. She tried to explain, to add context, to shrink the damage with words. I stopped her gently. I told her the screenshot had answered every question I once lost sleep over. Silence had done the work conversations never could. It gave me clarity without persuasion. She said she wanted to talk things through. I told her that talking comes before betrayal, not after exposure. That hurt her more than anger ever could. She cried, said she felt foolish, said she felt afraid. I listened calmly. Listening doesn't mean reconciling. It just means you're done fighting reality. I told her the silence wasn't accidental. It was intentional. It showed me how peaceful life could feel without constant doubt, and I wasn't willing to give that up. The screenshot didn't end our marriage. It confirmed it had already ended, quietly, long before the message asking to talk ever arrived. The days that followed weren't what she expected. There was no dramatic fallout, no public accusations, just logistics, distance, decisions. She kept trying to reopen emotional doors, sending long messages about growth, regret, confusion. I kept my responses minimal and factual. Silence had taught me restraint, and restraint had taught me power. She admitted she assumed I'd eventually break the silence first. She thought time would soften me. I told her time doesn't soften truth, it sharpens it. Every day without contact made the picture clearer, not blurrier. The screenshot became a turning point, not because it embarrassed her, but because it removed her ability to rewrite the past. She asked if there was any chance left. I told her chances survive on trust, and trust doesn't survive screenshots like that. She understood then, truly understood, that something permanent had shifted. Not because I sent the image, but because I didn't chase the conversation afterward. Silence, once chosen consciously, changes how people see you. It tells them you're no longer available for confusion. Friends noticed the change before I said anything. I was calmer, more grounded, less reactive. I wasn't replaying arguments in my head anymore. There were none. I wasn't wondering if I was overthinking. The screenshot removed doubt completely. Pain still existed, but it wasn't chaotic. It was clean, focused. I realized how much energy I'd spent managing uncertainty just to keep the relationship afloat. Without that weight, life felt simpler. She tried one last time to explain herself in person. I listened respectfully, then told her the truth she hadn't considered. Explanations don't heal breaches of trust. They just try to make them easier to live with. I didn't want an easier version of betrayal. I wanted peace, and peace doesn't negotiate with evidence. The separation unfolded quietly. No shouting, no blame games, just acceptance. She said the screenshot haunted her more than if I'd yelled or cheated back. I believed her, because calm consequences are harder to escape than emotional reactions. I didn't need revenge. I needed closure, and closure came not from words, but from certainty. Silence didn't make me distant. It made me decisive. People often think silence is passive. It isn't. Silence is active restraint. It's choosing not to dilute truth with emotion. Sending that screenshot instead of words wasn't cruelty. It was clarity. It ended conversations that would have gone in circles for years. After 21 days of complete silence, my wife texted, "Can we talk?" I didn't reply with words. I sent one screenshot, and in that instant, everything changed forever. Not because I finally spoke, but because I no longer needed to.